Good afternoon. Today is a very special day. We have Rudolf of Germany with us, and this is the first time that Rudolf has agreed to have a face-to-face interview with someone. So we have a few questions for him, and first of all, we would like to say welcome, Rudolf.
I'm very pleased to have you run the Pure Light Sanctuary, and this was my very first visit for some time. You have done quite well, and I'm very pleased with your advances so far.
Thank you very much. And time is pressing. We have Rudolf has allowed us to ask him a few questions. So the first questions we're going to ask him today is, what is your mission? What is the reason you have taken your time to come to planet Earth to see us at this time?
Well, the first time our tall white alien race visited planet Earth lay several 100,000 years back, and at this time we found primates, or in an advanced state, DNA state, humans on this planet, and cut the DNA and spliced the DNA in a way so we could have some workers to work in the gold mines, which was the original plan. Later on, we found out that these species of creatures also had emotions. And like on other planets, we decided also to enhance them further, so we can also not only harvest the gold, but also the emotional energy which we need so bad in order to produce on my home planet further illusionary worlds and dimensions.
The next question is, what exactly is a alien-human hybrid?
Well, as I said before, we found these primates and we chose to experiment with their DNA and eventually came up with a new hybrid race which was just perfect for the purpose we intended to. But we went further and further, and eventually we created some of these primates we enhanced them to a point where they could even do more sophisticated tasks. For example, supervision of the other ones, and also to a certain extent think on their own, which even today we can observe in some human beings.
Very well. The other question is, what is exactly the way you talk so often about the looming pole shift? The looming pole shift is something that is in our mind, and what are the options for regular humans in order to survive this catastrophic event?
They have to dig in, they have to go underground, and they have to stay underground at least during the day hours. And at night, certainly there are a few hours where they have to come out to conduct certain businesses, gathering food and water and other things necessary to survive. But of course, not many. I would say the estimate is about up to 30% of the human race may survive, and the others have to perish.
Okay, is the looming pole shift a man-made event, or is something that is part of the cosmos or part of nature, part of...
No, this is a event which takes place every so many thousands of years when the pole, the plus and minus of the pole shifts, and that was the North Pole becomes the South Pole, and the South Pole the North Pole, and the climatic situation on planet Earth will also be dramatically changed. Certain areas where there is a rather continental climate or even polar climate, cold climate, will become tropical, and some tropical areas will be covered with ice.
So we reverse. Now, one perhaps a misunderstanding our audience might have. You talk about the hybridization of humans, the enhancement of their DNA. Is this something that is available for everyone or just for some particular races? Is this something that is restricted, might be restricted?
You mean by races?
Yes, Asians, Chinese, blacks.
No, the race and the skin color of people does not matter. Important is the spiritual advancement of the person. In every race there are some very few, very highly spiritual people. Of course the masses are very unaware of true spirituality. And we are choosing only a very few of each race, which then again in turn will be groomed and DNA enhanced to a point where they can become the leaders of their own race and their own environment. Because as you can observe in today's time and also in the hundreds and hundreds of years back, this place, Earth, was mismanaged, and much what could have done to the good of the Earth, the advancement of animals, plants and humans, has been not conducted correctly. And we have today leaders in the world who are possessed by negative forces which are corrupting their minds to a point where they even let go of their own population and have their own population suffer the consequences of their evil plans.
Yes, this is very obvious. Rudolf, one other question that right now is in everybody's minds. America has been hit with 4 hurricanes in the short time of 2 weeks. Mexico last week had 2 major earthquakes, and there is volcanoes acting up all over the world. Now, are these events man-made, or so there's some relationship to the looming pole shift?
All of this has to do with the looming pole shift, which I have been speaking of since about 2 years. I have been speaking of the looming pole shift even before these massive catastrophes took place. There is nothing man-made about it. Man cannot change the climate to such an extent that such events may take place.
Very well. Well, this is good to know. At least we know where these things are coming from. Thank you very much for all your candidness and your patience with us, and we look forward for the next opportunity that we have a chance to speak to you in person again.
I thank you very much.
Thank you very much.